to the show. It is before the game. A huge show tonight on one of the biggest days in the footy world of 2012. Chris Scott to join us. Coach of the Cats, Tyson Goldsack. There's across to Fitzy. We're going to continue our search for the toughest man in the history of the game, thanks to Solo. There's the tool of the week. The gang's all here, and it has been some sort of day in the world of footy.
Been a tough day, no doubt about that.
Today?
You know what happened. But handled well, though, I thought. Handled well.
Yeah, well, these things, they're never easy. Particularly when there's a club legend involved. Of course, we're referring to the official sacking of Brett Ratten from the Carlton Footy Club today after the disappointing performance last Saturday night against the Gold Coast Suns. It's all been played out. We're just going to work our way through it. The president of the Carlton Football Club, Stephen Kernahan, officially delivered the news thus.
On behalf of the board of the Carlton Footy Club, I'd announce that Brett Ratten will not coach the club in 2013. The injury list we've had this year was taken fully into account, and we've missed finals. This football club, standards are high, and we don't apologise for that, but we're prepared to take criticism on the decision because it is a harsh call of Brett Ratten. I'll stand by that.
Yep, and he's certainly a man who knows how to stand by someone. Stand by your man!
That was
Mission accomplished.
That was 1987. I wish I was back there.
Stephen Kernahan, the president, and we've got to break it down, don't we?
Sure.
He has forecast that the
Heavy heart stuff, this, Sam.
Well, he's forecast that the club and the hierarchy will come in for some criticism. I think they ought to. They re-signed this guy 11 months ago, and now they're saying Stephen Kernahan sits there today and says that actually months ago, not just this week, they've been thinking they should get rid of Brett Ratten. So perhaps the decision was right for 6 months to re-sign him for 2 years. Clubs and administrations are just unaccountable for these big decisions and these big payouts, and I, for one, I'm getting a bit tired of it.
Well,
although Rats now gets $500,000 to do nothing. That's not a bad deal, seriously. Time out.
It is footy's way.
Travis Clyde.
Is it good management, Andy?
Well, it's footy's way, Sam. I mean, we know whether it's the right thing or the wrong thing to do. This is footy's way. The problem that I've got with this is that if anybody... Carlton has fallen victim in the past to the kind of whole Messiah complex thing. I reckon it goes back to Barassi, and they've brought a few in along the way who have been the big saviour of the footy club. If anybody at Carlton thinks that by sacking Brett Ratten and replacing him with Mick Malthouse, who I think we all think it's going to be, if they think that's going to solve the problems, and we saw the turnout today was extraordinary.
That's more cameras than the amount of network. There's not... How many TV stations are in this country?
About 45 according to that.
Was he a reporter? What's he doing there?
But didn't they say they want to replace Rats with a coach who's got a premiership under his belt?
Yeah.
That's what they said. So Dennis Pagan's available, I believe.
Does they want to know what you feel about this?
Well, I am sad. I mean, Rats had a winning record. He had a winning record, and if he had have given up today and not coached this week, he would have kept that winning record. He's right on the edge of 50%. So he was great for the club. Best and fairest in a premiership year. Has been a legend for the club, but well, you got to love the one you're with, and now he's gone. So.
This is fantastic. This is great. This is really good.
Down at Carlton, you are a rabble, though. Yesterday, Julian Distoop from Fox Sports was doing a report from out the front at Vizzy Park, and he was rudely interrupted by an employee at the Carlton Football Club.
There, you've got Mick Malthouse making comments in the media every day because he's on so many different media.
That's not on.
That might be all we've got time for. That's actually, I believe that's actually how they fired Rats.
That club is officially a circus. That's a staff member. That's a guy who's a statistician. The wheels have fallen off. You are out of control.
That's enough from you.
And a bit of a false start.
But it was a strong finish, wasn't it?
No, Mick Malthouse would be good for you guys. Took him 10 years to get a premiership at Collingwood, so 10-year plan at Carlton. Good luck, guys.
Don't get stuff, Limo.
The decision's been made, rightly or wrongly. Sometimes you've got to cut off the branch to save the tree. The club's moving forward. I don't worry for Rats. He's a talented man, and I think he could probably go on and do anything. I think he could have a career in the world of entertainment. Pretty funny bloke. He could probably join the festival circuit.
Yeah.
Here's some of his... Look, here he is doing some gear. I like this.
Let's look forward to making the top four, because we will.
Oh, that's funny. It's quality stuff.
That's funny. It's really good.
Do you want it? Do you want it or not?
Just a little one. Just a little one.
That can's faulty.
It's not the
Get
point
rid of it, mate.
operating.
Chuck it away. It's no good.
They're always sort of thick press conferences, these ones, when guys are sitting there next to the people that hired them and then they're firing them. Brett Ratton sat side by side with Stephen Kernahan and Greg Swan for half of today's press conference. The most interesting moment in the media conference came after he'd left, and it was when Stephen Kernahan was asked whether Mick Malthouse had influenced this decision.
Would Brett Ratton have been sacked if Mick Malthouse wasn't available?
It's a close call, Rob.
How long did that 4.5 seconds feel?
But the thing I respect about Sticks is he's not a very good liar, honestly. And he didn't want to lie then, which is admirable.
Well, if anyone's lying, if you're saying that Mick Malthouse is signed, well, Mick Malthouse is doing a good job of holding up this idea that it is still a very deep decision that he's coming to terms with. Let's hear what he said this morning on radio.
I am as much up in the air about returning to the coaching field. I want to weigh up everything before I start to throw my lot in, or not throw my lot in.
Mick Malthouse is a much better liar, I believe.
Well, I tell you what, Eddie Maguire, your good mate, Mick, he's not holding back. He spoke at the Bob Rose lecture today, and he recalled how in 2009 he was worried that football might, quote, kill Mick Malthouse because it was putting such strain and stress on his family and his life.
Yeah.
So he's just reminding the footy world that this was a man who was so exhausted, apparently, with footy. Mick denies this, but that he was so exhausted that they needed to give the job to
I
Nathan
think
Buckley.
he was exhausted with Eddie, if you want to be honest.
Fascinating. It is intriguing.
Look, they manufactured that deal so they could ease Malthouse out and keep Buckley the football club. That's why they manufactured that deal.
Guys, everything that needs to be said about this was said by the experts some time ago. I'm going to break some big news because I am now Mick Malloy, newsbreaker.
What are you talking about?
I'm about to drop a bomb. I'm about to drop a massive bomb. Can we get the BTG watermark on, because all the other news services are going to be running with this?
It's not on the rundown.
I have this from an impeccable source. I'm not prepared to reveal it, but I have it from an impeccable source. Mick Malthouse to coach Carlton in 2012.
And what if he wins the flag in the next couple of years?
Yeah.
Okay, now you're just being ridiculous.
No, I don't think it'll happen, and if it happens, I will burn my membership. Yeah?
Oh, gee.
Okay, that wasn't supposed to happen.
Hey, kudos and credit to you for breaking 2.5 years ago one of the big stories in football. Now, Malthouse hasn't got the job yet, but
Hang on. He will be coaching in 2012. Before the end of the year,
He'll be coaching that team.
As I predicted, if there's any journalists out there, hi Caro, who can predate April 2010, come and see me, because I believe I was first with the story.
That was not my membership, all right? So.
Can you please reveal your impeccable source now?
I can't, it would be wrong, but a big hello to everyone down at the All Nations Pint.
just before we get, does anybody believe that there hasn't been some communication with Malthouse and or Malthouse's people from the Carlton Football Club?
We know Greg Swan and Malthouse are good friends, and
They don't sack Brett Ratton unless they've got their bloke in their pocket, do they? They don't do it. I mean, it's a crazy presumption.
No, it's all about money now, isn't it? How much they're going to have to pay him.
Oh, Carlton, it's all about money. You've never rattled a tin in your life. You've been run by billionaires. You're blue blood aristocrats born to rule fox.
I just want to say,
It's all about money.
and I just want to say, the Pratts are great people as well.
The conversation would be between Malthouse's people, which allows him to sit there and say that he has not talked about it.
Hey, and by the way, let's not forget why we're here, why we're in this predicament, and why Rats is no longer with us. I believe it had something to do with this. Remember the rubbish we copped? Remember the rubbish we copped after the Richmond loss? Yeah. You lost.
Well, we've only been beaten by them once. We've actually beaten them. You guys have never beaten them. So.
Yes, mate.
You don't underestimate the Gold Coast Suns. They've won 6 games in the last 2 years.
But, I want to go back to Brett Ratten for a second because he has shown real class all this week, and it started after the loss to the Suns. Sure. He was absolutely gutted, but I loved his attitude in the press conference straight afterwards when he gets asked about his coaching future.
Personally, are you concerned with the ramifications of a loss?
What do you reckon, mate? Come on, you ask a quick. What do you reckon?
My imagine so.
Well, good guess. Well done. I'm just giving you the answer.
He really beat Blossom this week. He was brilliant today. Let's re-sign him.
Well, you might have thought Rats's performance there was great. I thought his performance in that press conference was a disgrace. His treatment of a young cadet journalist in that press conference was horrible.
Rats, who's your favourite Kardashian?
What do you reckon, mate? Come on, you ask a quick. What do you reckon?
Oh, I reckon you're a bit of a Kim man.
Good guess. Well done.
Good one, Rat.
Well, good work, Mickey.
Someone had to ask the question.
You want to be criticised if you didn't.
Hughesy's right. He's carried himself with great dignity through a really tough week, and he has committed today an ironclad commitment really to coach the side for the final game of 2012, round 23. They take on the St Kilda Footy Club on Sunday. There are the changes coming up on the screen. And I think it's great credit to the man that he's decided not to walk away. It would have been an easy thing for him to do, and a lot of people would have understood that. But he will coach the team and the players he's made a commitment to for the final game of the year.
I think that's a good move.
It's made it a very interesting game. It's going to be fantastic. And St Kilda are in good form. But Carlton said today they don't want Brendan Goddard there. They said that. And I don't know why, because he's in great... He's really... Watch this. He's a tard man. He fell over here. But the thing is, when he falls over, he gets back up and he puts the hurt on the young bloke. Watch the hurt he puts on here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That didn't really work out for him. Hey, it was a massive week in the press, as we all know, but we managed to dig up a couple of headlines that you might have missed. Mick Malloy has one, I believe.
I do indeed, Limo. This is from the Age earlier in the week. Gold Coast request to play Carlton twice next year.
No, my headline's been cancelled.
I'll do this one. GWS asked to play Carlton 4 times next year.
This one in the Australian during the week. Darren Hinch to coach Carlton. And this week we've got a 4th headline.
Hughes, we've never had 4 headlines.
Give it here. Oh, listen to Herald Sun. Lance Armstrong says he knows how to get Carlton to number 1.
Yeah, normally we finish the first segment with a couple of laughs, but clearly not the case tonight. Shut up, Malloy. We're taking a break here on before the game. Stick around, there's plenty more to come. Geelong coach Chris Scott tells us why the Cats are feared in finals, and Fitzy checks in with some goal-kicking greats.